He only wanted to buy a gift. That's the cruel irony at the heart of this story. Because on the night Marcus Reed walked into the downtown mall, Christmas music echoing through the halls, he still believed the world was mostly fair. He believed that if you kept your head down, worked hard, and stayed honest, nothing truly bad could happen to you. Marcus was wrong. Marcus Reed was the kind of man powerful people never noticed until it was convenient. 34 years old, soft-spoken, recently laid off from his warehouse job, he survived on night shifts as a security guard and whatever dignity he could salvage. To Councilman Victor Hale, the most influential man in the city, Marcus was a nobody. A face that blended into crowds. A life that didn't matter. But Marcus mattered to one person deeply. His daughter, Lily. That December, Lily had been counting down to Christmas with the kind of hope only children still carry. She wanted one thing: a red bicycle she'd circled in a catalogue weeks earlier. Marcus promised her he'd try. And on Christmas Eve, after cashing his final overtime check, he went Christmas shopping. That decision would cost him everything. The mall was packed. Shoppers rushed past glowing storefronts, hands full of bags and distractions. Marcus moved slowly, carefully, his eyes fixed on prices more than displays. He felt out of place among the wealth, the laughter, the ease. But when he finally saw the bike red, shining under white lights, something in his chest loosened. For the first time in months, he smiled. That's when the shouting started. A woman screamed near the electronics store. Security alarms blared. People scattered. And in the chaos, Marcus felt a hard shove from behind. He stumbled forward, crashed into a display, and instinctively reached out to steady himself. That's when he felt it. A cold, unfamiliar weight shoved into the pocket of his jacket. Seconds later, hands grabbed him. Security guards slammed him to the ground. Police swarmed. A handgun fell from his pocket and skidded across the tile floor. Marcus froze, stunned. "That's not mine," he said, his voice shaking. "I don't even own a gun." No one listened. The news broke before midnight. Armed suspect, arrested in Christmas Eve mall incident. The photo they used was unflattering Marcus, face pressed against the hood of a patrol car, eyes wide with fear. The story spread fast, faster than the truth ever could. Behind closed doors, Councilman Victor Hale watched the footage calmly. This had gone exactly as planned. Weeks earlier, Hale had panicked. A whistleblower inside city, contracts had threatened to expose illegal kickbacks, evidence that pointed straight to him. The drop was scheduled for after Christmas. Hale needed a distraction, a decoy, someone small enough to crush, loud enough to redirect attention. Marcus Reed was perfect. Public defenders were overwhelmed. Evidence disappeared. Surveillance footage from the mall was corrupted. Witnesses contradicted each
other. And Marcus, who had never been arrested in his life, was painted as a dangerous man who'd planned an attack in the middle of Christmas shopping. In court, Hale stood at a podium and spoke solemnly about public safety and swift justice. He never once said Marcus's name. Marcus sat in a holding cell on Christmas morning, staring at the concrete floor, wondering how buying a bike had turned him into a monster in the public eye. Lily's calls went unanswered. Her gift remained in the store. That should have been the end of the story. But true justice rarely arrives the way we expected. In the shadows of the case worked Naomi Cross, a junior investigative journalist recently demoted for asking the wrong questions. Something about Marcus's arrest bothered her. The timing, the lack of footage, the speed with which the narrative had been decided. She started digging, and what she found changed everything. A blurred reflection in a store window showed a man bumping into Marcus moments before the arrest. Enhanced footage revealed a hand slipping into Marcus's pocket. The man was later identified as a known associate of Victor, Hale's private security team. Naomi published quietly at first, blogs, forums, then independent outlets picked it up. Public pressure grew, too loud to ignore. That's when the power shifted. Prosecutors reopened the case. The gun was traced not to Marcus, but to a batch registered under a shell company tied to Hale. Surveillance data resurfaced. Witnesses recanted. Marcus was released after 3 months behind bars. No apology, no compensation, just silence. But the story didn't end there. The night Marcus walked free, Victor Hale was arrested. Charges followed: conspiracy, evidence tampering, abuse of power. The same cameras that once framed Marcus now captured Hale being led away in cuffs. Justice, it seemed, had been served. Marcus reunited with Lily days before Christmas the following year. The bike stood in the corner, slightly late, but still bright red. Lily hugged him like she'd never let go. Yet something lingered. As Marcus unpacked his few belongings from evidence storage, he found something he didn't recognize. A receipt, dated Christmas Eve, t'other, and Marcus, who had never been arrested in his life, was painted as a dangerous man who'd planned an attack in the middle of Christmas shopping. In court, Hale stood at a podium and spoke solemnly about public safety and swift justice. He never once said Marcus's name. Marcus sat in a holding cell on Christmas morning, staring at the concrete floor, wondering how buying a bike had turned him into a monster in the public eye. Lily's calls went unanswered. Her gift remained in the store. That should have been the end of the story. But true justice rarely arrives the way we expect it. In the shadows of the case worked Naomi Cross, a junior investigative journalist recently demoted for asking the wrong questions. Something about Marcus's arrest bothered her. The timing, the lack of footage, the speed with which the narrative had been decided. She started digging, and what she found changed everything. A blurred reflection in a store window showed a man bumping into Marcus moments before the arrest. Enhanced footage revealed a hand slipping into Marcus's pocket. The man was later identified as a known associate of Victor, Hale's private security team. Naomi published quietly at first, blogs, forums, then independent outlets picked it up. Public pressure grew, too loud to ignore. That's when the power shifted. Prosecutors reopened the case. The gun was traced not to Marcus, but to a batch registered under a shell company tied to Hale. Surveillance data resurfaced. Witnesses recanted. Marcus was released after 3 months behind bars. No apology, no compensation, just silence. But the story didn't end there. The night Marcus walked free, Victor Hale was arrested. Charges followed: conspiracy, evidence tampering, abuse of power. The same cameras that once framed Marcus now captured Hale being led away in cuffs. Justice, it seemed, had been served. Marcus reunited with Lily days before Christmas the following year. The bike stood in the corner, slightly late, but still bright red. Lily hugged him like she'd never let go. Yet, something lingered. As Marcus unpacked his few belongings from evidence storage, he found something he didn't recognize. A receipt dated Christmas Eve. Signed, time-stamped. It wasn't for the gun. It was for surveillance equipment. Purchased under Marcus's name. Someone had planned this far deeper than Hale alone. As snow fell quietly outside, Marcus realized the truth too late. Hale was only the face of the setup, not the architect. And somewhere, someone was still watching. Marcus didn't sleep that night. The receipt sat on the kitchen table like a quiet accusation, its edges curling under the warmth of the room. Surveillance equipment, his name. His signature forged so cleanly, it made his hands shake. Victor Hale had been loud, arrogant, visible. This was something else. This was careful. By morning, Marcus understood the cruel truth. Hale had been sacrificed. The real power had needed a fall guy, and Hale had been just arrogant enough to believe he was untouchable. Marcus, once again, had been underestimated by everyone. He took the receipt to Naomi Cross. She didn't interrupt as he spoke. Her face tightened with every word. When he finished, she leaned back and exhaled slowly. "This isn't about you anymore," she said. "It never was. You were the proof of concept." Naomi traced the purchase order. It led to a private security contractor called Northbridge Solutions, a name that appeared repeatedly in sealed municipal budgets and federal disaster response grants. Untouchable, invisible, and protected by people far above city politics. As they dug deeper, patterns emerged. Framed suspects, manufactured crises, public fear used as currency. Marcus saw his own story, reflected in others, men and women ruined quietly while the headlines moved on. The injustice was no longer personal. It was systemic. Then the pressure started. Marcus noticed the same black sedan parked down the street for 3 nights in a row. Naomi's email was hacked. A source backed out after receiving an anonymous threat. The message was clear: stop digging. Instead, Naomi published not everything, just enough. A teaser article, names without conclusions, questions without answers. The response was immediate. Northbridge issued a statement denying wrongdoing. Politicians called the story irresponsible, and Marcus lost his job again. The next move came faster than either of them expected. A warehouse fire on the edge of the city killed 2 people. Northbridge was on site within minutes, cameras rolling, hailed as heroes. But Marcus recognized the pattern: manufactured chaos, controlled response. He made a decision that terrified him. Marcus walked back into the same mall where his life had been dismantled. Same lights, same music, same polished lie of safety. He met a former mall technician Naomi had tracked down, a man who had quit suddenly after upgrading security systems. The technician confirmed it. Northbridge had full access, blind spots, remote overrides. Marcus had never walked into a random setup. He had been selected. That night, Marcus recorded a video. No Polish, no music, just his face and the truth. He named Hale. He named Northbridge. He explained how fear was staged and sold. Naomi released it simultaneously with documents she'd been holding back. The backlash was explosive. Federal agencies announced probes. Investors pulled out. Northbridge executives vanished from public view. One was found dead in what authorities called a suicide. Another fled the country. Marcus thought it was over. He was wrong. A package arrived at his door 3 days before Christmas. No return address. Inside was a burner phone and a single note. "You exposed the wrong layer." The phone rang that night. A voice distorted, calm, amused. "You did very well, Marcus," it said. "Most people never realize they're part of a rehearsal." The call ended with coordinates, a date, Christmas Eve. Marcus looked at Lily sleeping on the couch, the red bicycle by the window, and understood the final irony. Justice had been served, but only enough to reveal how deep the rot truly went. Outside, snow began to fall again, and somewhere in the city, the architect adjusted the plan.